I wanted to post more videos than I am. I kind of had to stop for a little bit, but this is my dad's 72 Chevelle. I watched this the whole time I was going to school, and it finally went up for sale in 90, I guess it would have been 92, and we bought it. And June 24th will be a year since we lost him to cancer. It was originally a 307 car, and an older lady owned it. It needs interior work, and of course it's that green. The green and the brown are the ones that always survive, it seems like. Mako did a paint job to it, and we won't discuss that one. I did a paint job to it about 8 years ago, I believe it was. And now that's starting to fade away. But I'm gonna try and get it repainted. And my mom loves to drive this car, and I love to drive this car. I put a 354 bolt out of a 78 truck, and we got an intake for it, and a friend of ours, while my dad had cancer, he put the intake in a new cam in it because it swallowed the cam, and it was leaking around the center bolts there. As you see, these two center bolts, if I can do it. Oops, messed it up. Anyway, the two center bolts right below the carburetor on each side. My wife said to me, she said, well, you should be showing people this stuff instead of just, you know, showing videos. And I thought, well, most of the people that watch this probably know most about what's going on. But yeah, if you think you got a vacuum leak somewhere, don't always just think it's at the edge of the gasket there. Sometimes it can be in the bolts. It turns out, well, basically what I did was using used parts, and I'll see if I can show you here on a factory one. Yeah, the garage is still a mess. It probably always will be. Always working on something. But this is the factory, a factory intake. And what I like to do is I'll take a flat file if I get a used one, and I'll go through and I'll flat file this. And then if there's any dark spots after you flat file it, you'll know it's not flat. So for you new guys or people just starting out, and I'll also flat file these too. Then what you also want to check is this, the thread holes and the carburetor plate, and you want to make sure that's, but you want to get yourself a nice flat file and just, you know, go over it real lightly. And if you're doing it on the car like I wasn't pulling the heads off. I took the straight edge of the flat file and I just took it down each of the head, each side of the heads one time, and made sure those were level, and that wasn't the case. But the intake did have some warpage, and sure enough, it was right at those two bolts on each side. So what I did was I well, call it flat file. I did both sides and the carburetor plate, and the carburetor plate on the carburetor itself. And I use these stick gaskets. That's an Edelbrock product, and Invincible Extremes showed me that one. I didn't even know they had them around except for factory, but since I've been using them, I'm an Edelbrock guy. I know some of you Holly guys will get mad, but anyway, since I've been using them, they seem to perform a lot better, and less of the fuel backup on it. So what I went ahead and did to make sure I fixed the whole trouble is I did flat file all those, and then I got a bolt kit for it, which is like 10 bucks at Advanced, your local parts store, whatever, for the bolts and washers for the intake. So that also was a problem too. Sorry if I'm jumbling around a lot, but I found that the old bolts were a little smaller than the intake and the intake holes, and that can give you trouble too, especially if you're beating on it. I was up racing this a few weeks ago, and it started stumbling, and I found a spark plug wire was melted to the header, and then I fixed that, but it was still wasn't there. So then I brought it home and I found an intake leak. We were just having fun. That's what we always do when we go to the track. We don't really race because we don't really have much that are powerful to race with, besides one maybe, but we'll see here in a future episode. So yeah, so this was my dad's car. That's never leaving. Eventually I hope to redo it the way he wanted it. He wanted SS stripes, silver SS stripes down the trunk and the hood, and a cowl on the hood, which I plan to do if my health stays decent. I plan to do maybe next year. It's still running great, and it's a one-wheel wonder. So I got a bald tire on the right side, so I got to fix that. But other than that, my mom can cruise it, I can cruise it. Pretty much the whole family cruises it. So, for now, I guess that's... Just thought I'd share that with you. Maybe in the future I'll remember to pick up the camera while I'm doing this stuff and show you. If that's something anybody wants to see, let me know. I'm hoping my videos are getting better. I was kind of waiting on a camera. That's why I haven't been doing a whole lot, because this phone takes a while to upload the video. But we're working on it. I'm doing this for fun anyway, so. But if there's anything y'all would like to see, or have any questions for me or whatever, I'm not the brightest bulb on the string, but I've been around the block a few times, so let me know. And as always, keep it between the ditches.